Everybody, happy Monday. Big waves to you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Monday, and we're rocking along in January. It's hard to believe we're on the back half of January 2023. I mean, it just flies by. Big shout out to Ashley Paulson. I know Ashley's in the middle of the 75-day hard challenge. Congrats, Ashley, for what you're doing there. And so on the backside of January 2023, and we're off and rolling. So the word for this Monday, and Andrea, I don't have who gave us this word for their
Carol. Carol gave it to us.
Carol. Awesome. All right, Carol. Well, the word's hope. And we decided we picked this word to kick off Monday with, how many of you stroll into Monday at times and you're like, whoo, all right, I got to get back on track. I got to get things back going. Well, hope, if you look at the definition, a feeling of expectations and desire for a certain thing to happen. We want something to happen or to be the case. That's the verb tense. But I look at it and I come across this. Hope is being able to see that there's light despite all the darkness. Now, that sounds kind of doom and gloom, but how many of you slipped off the wagon and had a big bowl of ice cream lately? Where you're like, well, that could be a little bit of dark, right? Like you're on track, you're doing good, and then wham, cookies and cream happen, right? And so, but hope is being able to see that the next day you can jump right back on track, and there's light there. There's light, good Lord willing. So think about that, and whatever it is you're doing, I had a situation happen to me this morning, and I had to pull some light out of it or gratefulness out of it, and I could have easily went into a negative place. So the difference between a victim and a survivor is hope. Think about that. The difference between a victim and a survivor is hope. Because when we lose hope, it's hard to keep striving. It's hard to keep going, and contributing. That's why I see a lot in my profession. If people ever lose hope and they ever pull out of the group they're in, have you ever done that? Have you ever been really dedicated and really involved and really doing things, and then you pull away, and 1 week turns into 2, and 2 turns into 4, and before you know it, you start losing hope. So don't unplug. And that's kind of where I went this morning with my message for myself. Is think about this. And this is why it's so big, I believe, to self-develop and to read and to listen to audios and to get on the coach's corner or other forms of groups, because we have a mess. Each of us have different forms of messes going on in our life. Could be our health, could be relationships, could be our business, whatever it is. Would you agree with that? That we all have messes. But it's our messages that creates hope for others. It's our mess. Like when we go from being, let's just say a person goes from being broke to finding a way to get out of that and make money and end up flourishing. That mess of that story becomes a message of hope to somebody else. And I was thinking about that today, and I thought, do you realize that the majority of the world don't read? They do not self-develop. They do not listen to audios. If you do that, you're very abnormal. Like you're not normal, you're abnormal. But think about that. We go through life reading and listening to things, and it's other people's mess that's the message that gives us hope, right? Somebody's business was in the tank, but they kept fighting, they kept pushing, and boom, came on the other side. And so it inspires us to keep going. Or maybe it's our health journeys or our relationships. So my point being is, first of all, congratulations to you for being that person that self develops, because you really are abnormal. You're not, that's not a normalcy. We were talking about that this morning. Most people don't read, don't put the things in their head, don't listen to things where other people are sharing their mess and making it their message. But all of those things we're listening to are giving us hope that in the storm, just keep going. In the fight, just keep fighting. And so that's, I guess, Andrea, that's my message for hope this morning. Is I'm grateful that we all are plugging in, self-developing, and then I think it's very important that we make our mess our message. Like, share that with other people, because that offers hope to them as well. So I'll turn it to you, Andrea.
Well, that was a great one, Coach. And thank you so much for this, Carol. I appreciate it. And the quote that I found was, hope is the only thing stronger than fear. And that's Suzanne Collins. And I think about, so much of our life, we really have to depend on hope. Like, we get up and we exercise because we hope we're going to have a long life. We get up and we do hard work because we hope we're going to have a paycheck and be able to put that back and create a legacy for these hopeful grandbabies someday. Like, so much that we do is just based on the hope that we have today. But have you ever felt hopeless? Like, have you ever been in a place where you just have no hopefulness in you, and it makes you kind of want to shut down? You had to hibernate, you try a little less, you do a little less, you help other people less, and you just are less as a human. You just shrink yourself down. And maybe you're hopeless to lose weight. You're like, oh, I've tried and I've tried and I've tried, and I don't even know where to turn. I can't do it anymore. Or maybe there's some hopelessness around your kids. They're just little ragamuffins and they're never going to figure out how to do their own laundry. Or maybe it's hopelessness around your folks. They're aging and you're worried, and you don't really feel like there's anything you can do to help their situation. Maybe it's your finances, where you're like, oh, I'm never going to get out of this mountain of debt. And when you're in that place of hopelessness, I feel like we really stop trying. We kind of get to the forget it place. We're like, ugh, can't make a difference, just forget it. And that can absolutely cripple you. But if you can turn that page and find just a little tiny grain of hope, we can all absolutely overcome. So how do we do that? How do we cultivate, that mustard seed we hear about? How do we cultivate that little tiny piece of hope when we're kind of maybe not feeling super hopeful? Well, first of all, faith, the belief in something bigger than ourselves, something more important. And whether it be God or, a higher power, or a loved one that maybe you're fighting for, or a mission or a cause, find something bigger than you to fight for, which is a reason to keep moving completely outside yourself. Next is gratitude. And we just talked about being grateful, grateful, grateful. We could probably just do a lesson on grateful every single day because it's that important. But when you focus on what you have to be thankful for, not on what we don't have or what we've lost or what we want, it allows us to feel so much more hopeful and have so much more hope in our life. So remind yourself, make that little, I actually have an alarm in my phone right now. I'm looking for my phone. I don't know where I put it, but I have an alarm in my phone right now for two things. And the first one is gratitude. Just randomly throughout the day, gratitude. Oh, I'm going to go think of a couple things to be grateful for. And gosh, you feel so much more hopeful for the day. And then lastly, love. if you really want to feel hopeful, think about all the humans on this earth that we are blessed to love. So when you think about, everybody that's really close to you and the things that you love about them, the more that you focus on that, your family and your friends, and you make a point to connect with them every single day. Coach, you just talked about this, like picking up the phone or giving those little extra words of encouragement to our babies. Every time we do that, we feel more hopeful. And Coach, you touched on this too, that, it can be painful for all of us to talk about our mess, the places that we've screwed up, the places that we feel less than. But when we do, when we're our authentic self and we share what we have overcome, we absolutely are a light and we offer hope to other people. So thank you for this, Carol. Thank you for this, Coach. This was a good one for me. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it too.
Absolutely great one. Thanks, Carol, for that. And listen, I hope you all rock this Monday, and we'll see you back tomorrow. We love you so much. Grateful for you.
Love you guys. Have a great
Thank you, Coach. Love you all. Have a great day.
See you guys.